If you look at what I'm holding in my hand, this is what is called Oji in Igbo culture. If you observe my last video, I discussed on the staff, the bishop in the Pentecostal church, the Pope. This is what they imitated from the ancient order, staff and the rod. So this represents a similitude of the rod of Moses. This represents a similitude of the staff of Abraham. You know, this never told us Abraham had a staff, but this is it. This is also a representative of the staff of Moses. But they never told us that Christ held a staff. This is a representative of that also. Now, if you look at this design, I want to explain what this means from beginning to the end of it. And now, when you see the Pope with his own long stick, it's the same thing. If you go to Uganda, you go to the East Africa, you go to Ghana, you go all over Africa, all over black race, you will find this in different design. Now, I want to discuss as concerns the Igbo culture and the magic in Igbo culture. Now, you will see some of the rods in some traditional or native doctors or witch doctors as might be ascribed. It will not be designed, but a rod, and then it will have a cap round with voodoo load. We call it Ududu Oridele, Ududu Ozudele, or Ududu Waboncha. Now, what does that mean? It is out of our culture. That one is a different thing. You will see some of the staff will come up here. I have two heads. Some will come and bend. Some will come and form around here and then give it with some leaves and design it. For example, let me get an item of this nature. Now they will bring the rod. As the rod may be, it will have a very circled or wide base where they will use a kind of this put on top with some cloth, some kind of design cloth. You see them with this heavy design cloth on it. That one is a prepared one. It's not our culture. It was prepared. It's out of magic. It is out of voodoo. Prepared. Okay. You see it again in so many designs. They explain the kingdom they represent and the power they represent. But when we come to AMADIOHA, this is what we call Oji AMADIOHA. Now let me explain it for you. Here you will see a cock. This design is design of a cock, representing a living cock. That is the symbol, the animal symbol of the spirit of AMADIOHA is a cock. Now, you look at these bells attached to it. It is designed in four, in quadruple base, but in triple stand to bring it to 12. 4, 8, 12, representing the 12 apostles. This is what I mean when I was explaining a similitude of this video in a previous message. These 4 represent apostles, the 12 apostles of the Christ, which is the matter we are expecting. At the time, the cock will sound the time when he will come. So in our ancient religious or cultural kemetic principle is what has been today ascribed as a canon for Pentecostals, for Orthodox churches, and for many other denominations in signs, in symbols, in allegories. They have utilized our culture in so many ways to deceive us in terms of religion. Now, whomsoever holding this is an ordained priest of AMADIOHA. This is what makes you the priest of AMADIOHA.
You see.
So when you move and see someone with this, know that he is a priest of AMADIOHA. Now, someone might tie it red cloth. If I say the ones complete like this, but they tie red cloth, yellow cloth, green cloth, or a tie on it. Now, those cloths is not that they are anything, but rather they are the symbols of the rainbow, which is the messenger of AMADIOHA, designed upon this. Now, whenever the priest is holding it, he is the authority of AMADIOHA. And when he is commanding with it, AMADIOHA comes present. Now, when AMADIOHA is moving, this is the sound you hear. Did you understand it? So, now, as the priest is moving, AMADIOHA is moving with him. This is the sound. And when he is commanding, there are radics. The radics our fathers produces that. When you are holding this, you start chanting the four order. You start chanting the spirit and the command of the apostles. Whomsoever, there's no authority that is above the authority of the priest of AMADIOHA anywhere in the world. I'm not exaggerating and I'm not bragging. There is no authority in the world above or higher than the priest. The authority of the priest of AMADIOHA. Then there's no power that supersedes the priest of AMADIOHA. Whenever he comes, no matter where you feel like belong to, you cannot overpower the priest of AMADIOHA, because that is the order of the Christ we call in the church. So how, if you defeat the people, that means you have defeated Christ. So in the culture, AMADIOHA is one deity that no one can overpower. It is impossible. Be it anywhere in the world, you cannot overpower the deity called AMADIOHA, which is the king. He is the God, the king of kings. So that is whom I represent. That is whom I stand for in my priesthood calling. That is whom I portray in my high priest standing, is AMADIOHA. I have no other spirit attached to it. Now AMADIOHA controls every other spirit of 67,000 existing under the element of the four quarters. He rules. Even above the heaven, he rules. Even with the Trinity, he rules. So he is the King of Kings. So that is what this symbol stands for. Now the Pentecostals, the Orthodox, the Methodists, and the churches of the Rome have now placed all these whole principles in our culture in a way that it looks as if that they are of Mosaic relationship. No. I want to testify to you that the early seeds of Biafra are Semites. And when I say they are politestics, means that they worship so many different gods. But all those different gods is centered in the Trinity, which is Ogugu. Ogugu AMADIOHA. Ogugu Afi, you know. So it's centered on there. And the level before a priest ascends to handling this, he must be a high priest. So that is why if you see this in my hand, you must know his inheritance. Now if it is missing, now it can be replaced, and the rituals associated with it and the ceremonies performed to activate the energy, and as well as the cosmic representation of what this is all about. So when a pope is standing with his long stick, AMADIOHA priest is standing with his own long stick here. When a bishop is standing with his own order, AMADIOHA priest stands with his own order. And among all this, when we all come out, you see that there's no power that can flow from them or energy. But this, a lot can flow out of it. It is a mere iron prepared. In my video, I have talked about it. You know that the rock is the iron, and the iron is also rock. But this has passed a kind of process of refining, purification, and producing to this stand. But the rock itself, the real rock that is not metal, is a different rock altogether that supersedes all rock. There are other rocks that are lighter metals that can be used to, maybe the metal for airplane is a lighter metal. I think that one comes from lithium. It's also a rock. Or spodumene, it's also a rock. But this metal, the rock that made this metal is the iron rock. is the iron rock. So you find out that the access of energy as concerned the real rock this way is different from this. Now, the number of white colors or of clothes attached in this symbolizes the number of spirits. How many spirits that such native doctor or priest of AMADIOHA can command? Now, I command all the 67 spirits, 67,000 spirits. Now, all the colors of the rainbow. If I want to identify my stand, if I carry my Oji and every person carrying Oji come, we read who I am from there. We know that this one is a master that can call all spirits. Now, if I don't display it in that manner, because it depends on rank anyway and the ability of command, the invocation ability that you have. Now, if I don't want to design my it's not about choice of design. If I don't want to design it to state my stand, I can only even hang only one cock here whenever I am coming out with my Oji to a display or to a masculine display. Now, if I come and pin this Oji, every other person standing with me, shoot them from now till tomorrow with your gun, you cannot kill them. Butcher them with your knife, you cannot butcher them. But when I come in such a display where they are acting that as the priest of AMADIOHA, I will use my own Oji, pin it, and begin to command their own Oji, and this iron will bend and fall. I will not use, it's not by knife, it's not by gun, just by word of mouth and pointing hand to it and commanding it. That as the high priest that I am, from my hand, or just pointing at it, the iron will break and bend. That's how we test our level of power. Now, when I point it and bend the iron, that is to say, any human being I point to my staff is gone. You see why we are ordered not to point, or as we are being trained in the order, we are controlled over anger or not to use these powers when it's not supposed to be exercised. That is one of the cautions we are being given, not to be carried away by anger and you exercise the authority unlawfully. It damages a lot of things, it damages a lot of things. So that is the lecture of today concerning Oji, which stands for Christ and his 12 apostles. The cock stands for time when these things will be made manifest, when this being here will be born on earth, will be born in the flesh to exercise the work of the Father, AMADIOHA. And that is what it says. And the day this man has come, and in our kemetic principle, we maintain it till tomorrow. Now, in the modern day, I will only start, as I hold them, I am calling the authority of Jehovah, Peter, James, and John, Andrew, Philip, and Bartholomew. I begin to command the authority of the apostles. Who is like unto me? Who is powerful than me? Which sword do you think can be above the sword of Christ, which I bear, in the kinetic principle of my gospel, of my culture? Tell me the power that is above me when I have the authority of the apostles and Christ himself, kinetically designed in principle and in order given unto me in a simple act of command, and heavens will open, earth will open, waters will respond, wind will respond, just in that. But such things, my years in the church room and in the missionary school, in the missionary service, I cannot be able to even raise a feed of a leaf up in command, in prayer. I have learned to pray over the years. I have learned to fast 40 days and 40 nights. I cannot even move an ant. But in my culture, after I came down to study the religious culture of Africa, I discovered that that is the foundation and the basis of all power. Now I can, at the verge of my own eyes, command the rock to move. Just by sight, looking at it and reciting one or two languages, the rock will move. The same way I can recite a language in my culture and a car will cease to move. The same way I can command and the one or two things I wish to happen will happen. But all the days in my church, I cannot command this. So what is the secret that they are hiding for us in the church? What else did I do? Only knowing the God and following the culture. There was nothing given to me to eat as a winch so that I can be able to do all these things. No. So it is time we come back home so that those God-given gifts and talent in us towards building his kingdom can come out individually, and then we'll bring it together to make a very glorious and wonderful kingdom. A nation where all talents, a nation where we breed talents of great minds, a nation where we exercise the characteristics act associated with the degree, the knowledge, and the science in our culture. I urge every young man out there that you have a talent, you have a gift given to you by the Father AMADIOHA, and the only way you can access it if this gift so quick is towards directed to the culture of the land. Then you can access your gift and know who you are and know where you're coming from, and then the reason why you are here on earth. Then you can be able to pursue your course and not be carried away by the mere malady and the sanctions of the earth, where everything will be looking up to having the whole Lamborghini in the world. We want to drive the Rolls Royce, we want to fly the private jet, but yet we have no focus. Neither do we know who we are, or do we know the purpose of which we were born here on earth. I think that is what matters. What matters is not the Lamborghini. I do not say that you fly your private jet is wrong. I do not say for you to drive your Rolls Royce or Bugatti is wrong, but I am saying that the responsibility you owe yourself is to discover who you are and then know the reason why you are sent here. That is not to fly private jet around. There is a purpose. Finding that purpose is your salvation, and I know this is truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I wish you well. Subscribe to our channel. Learn from us. Ask us questions. Tell us what you want to know and where you have concern. We here on our own ground, by the help of AMADIOHA, will bring you a satisfying report and answer that will lead you to end your research. Please, I will say that research is the key of success. Always research. Go to research and come back to tell us we are wrong or we are right. And I know after your research, you will come back to tell us thank you for helping to bring back this course. It is not a business, it is a calling. It is a calling. It is a work and it's a service, and of which I have pledged to AMADIOHA to the end of my life, from my youth, the day I will be called to glory. I will do this work. I will teach you from limbs to joints, and from arteries to every footile of the body as associated with our culture. I am here. I have been ordained. I have been called. I have been given the charge for this duty. And I assure you, I will not relent. I will continue to move forward until the goal is accomplished. I wish you well. Thank you very much for being with us all this while. May AMADIOHA provide for you and lead you aright. Today, as you can see, we have begun the New Yam Festival ceremony since yesterday night. It will continue until on the 24th night, where all spirits, all cultures, all deities, we are giving them their right. All AMADIOHAs, ranging from Ibekala, ranging from for all, we have begun today to prepare and make their presentation, which is the opening of the Black celebration, which is the New Year, but we call it New Year Festival. But in the culture, in the sense of the appropriate sense of the culture, this is when the year has begun properly. This is the New Year, not January. So now, as they can begin, I want this opportunity to thank everybody, those our brothers and sisters all over the world who have contributed, who have sent the little they can to make this New Yam Festival of this year a success. I want to tell you thank you. Those that send ram, I want to tell you thank you. AMADIOHA will bless you. Those that send fowls, I want to tell you thank you. AMADIOHA will bless you. Those that send their dogs, I want to tell you thank you. AMADIOHA will bless you. As we use them for the work, your doors will open. Your finances will continue to flow in abundantly. That we will do better next year and continue to do better until the temple is finally built to help us be able to reposition our race and teach our children what lies ahead of us. We have come to the peak of the mountain where we can now see how far we have went and how far we are to go ahead. The journey is indeed a far one. So we urge every youth everywhere to continue to support financially, literally, and through the means of every documentary research that you can lay your hand on. Any old script that you can find that you cannot interpret, we interpret it here in the temple, including in CBD. We interpret all languages of the ancients. It is my duty. That is why I am the high prince. When you find one that you are confusing, bring it to the high prince. We will decipher it and bring out the codes and the message that the ancient has kept for us in those records. I wish you well. Continue, and we will arrive at victory. Biafra is here, and Biafra is sure. I assure you. I assure you. Thank you, brothers.